like to welcome everyone to the October meeting for the United City Council. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor Kangas.
Here.
Councilmember Smith.
Here.
Councilmember Harkey. Councilmember Becker.
Yes.
Councilmember Howard. Councilmember Ilmanen.
Present.
Councilmember Flowey.
Here.
Okay, the adjustment, the approval of agenda. We're gonna be removing 8.2. Guess that's where enough information on that yet, so we hold off on it a little bit. And but 8.3 you have in front of you is updated to what you have in your packet. So we'll be dealing with that. So I guess with those two changes, can I get a motion for approval?
Make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Can I get a second?
Second
Greg? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Against? Okay, with that, number 5, we have public comment. So 3 minutes, want to step forward and to the podium for public comment. You're more than welcome. Please state your name and you got 3 minutes.
Is this different than the public discussion about the budget?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay, with that, I see no movement, so with that, I'm closing public comment. Okay, we've got 6.1, August 8th, regular minutes.
I think Jeremy can speak on this,
Okay, go ahead, Jeremy.
Yeah, it came to our attention that there was some confusion about parliamentary procedure, Robert's Rules of Order, and the city council policies and procedures with regard to abstentions. And so I just wanted to quickly revisit it so that we're all on the same page. Your policies and procedures state that you use Robert's Rules of Order for the conduct of the meetings. Robert's Rules of Orders state that if there's an abstention, that abstention doesn't count towards an aye or a nay. It's just noted in the meeting minutes as an abstention. Your policies and procedures say you use Robert's Rules of Order to conduct your meeting minutes. They also say that abstentions are not counted as this abstention, but rather they count towards the prevailing vote. So for instance, someone makes a motion to change the agenda, and the vote is 3-2 with an abstention. The vote for recording purposes under your policies and procedures would be 4-2. The abstention lands on the prevailing side, whatever that may be. Because there's a conflict between Robert's Rules of Order, which your policies say to utilize, and the actual policies themselves, if you read deeper into the policies, it specifically addresses that issue as well. If there is a conflict between the two, the policies and procedures prevail. And so in this particular instance, any abstention counts towards the prevailing side on the motion. And just to take it one step farther, you all have a duty to vote. That's part of your obligation as a city council, both under Michigan common law and under your policies and procedures. It's what you sign up to do when you agree to do this job. Even if the vote makes you uncomfortable, even if the vote is about your neighbor, even if the vote is about your mother-in-law, whatever it might be, unless you have a conflict of interest, a legitimate conflict of interest where you have a financial stake in the outcome, or there's something else that prevents you from taking a position on it, the obligation is that you do vote. However, Michigan law is that you can't be compelled to vote. So there's kind of, again, a conflict there. You have a duty to vote, but no one on this board can make you vote. So I would encourage everybody to take your duty seriously, vote on every issue you can, even if it makes you uncomfortable, because that's how we don't end up in deadlocks or in unable to get our business done. So I hope that cleared up this issue, but if you got questions, I'll do my best to answer.
I guess I'll put the motion on the table to approve the August 8th minutes as revised.
Support.
Okay, Toby, any comment?
No, I apologize for beating a dead horse on this at our last meeting. That's all.
Okay, John,
Net.
Kevin? Right,
I guess just for clarification, then this abstained vote, then the motion would have passed 6-0, correct?
Correct.
So then we have to amend the minutes again to represent a 6-0 vote instead of a 5-0 vote, correct?
Right.
That's what this attorney is saying,
That's
yes.
exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.
Your motion was to.
I misunderstood what was said then. I thought on a roll call vote, the abstention stood as a non-vote.
It is a non-vote, I mean, it's an abstention, it's the very nature of the beast, however, it counts in the prevailing side.
Okay.
So in this instance, if you have a 5-0-1, the ultimate vote would be 6-0.
So
Then
this
I'll amend my motion then to approve the minutes with the correction to the 5-0 vote being a 6-0 vote.
I think it's important, Ian, to just to note the abstention on the meeting minutes, so there's no confusion to anybody. In 10 years goes back and looks, they can at least identify.
Thank
I'm
you.
good with that amendment.
Any other discussion?
okay, so do we have to go through another motion?
No, he made an amendment,
He
he
made the
seconded
amendment.
the friendly amendment,
Okay,
so you just need to call for a vote.
okay, so I guess I have no comment to make on it, so it's our duty as a council person to represent the people. That's what we're here to do. So I guess with that, I'll ask for a roll call vote.
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Becker,
Yes.
Councilmember Ilmanen,
Yes.
Councilmember Fleury,
Yes.
Mayor Kayes. Motion passes.
So that comes number 7, public hearing. 7.1, 2025 city budget. Okay, back please.
The Nagani City Council has authorized a public hearing on the 2025 city budget for this evening. The Nagani City Charter requires the city budget to be adopted by resolution of the council at its regular meeting in November. The 25 budget is a comprehensive plan of city activities for the coming year. It includes all proposed expenditures for the general fund, enterprise funds, and various special funds established according to generally accepted accounting practices and governmental requirements. The proposed budget has been posted on our website for viewing. Recommendation, conduct a public hearing and take comments on the proposed 2025 city budget. Alternative, none. This is mandatory by city charter.
So, with that, I'll open the public hearing, so someone wants to participate, feel free to step up to the podium and let's open the public hearing.
Hello, my name is Wolfgang Warner, council, mayor. I was reviewing the budget that was posted online, and one thing that stood out to me that kind of concerned me is I noticed that the budget for the fire department actually went down. I don't know if you guys have been in that building at all, but it's quite a sorry state, minus the kitchen. And I was just wondering why it was that the budget went down specifically for the fire department. I mean, it's such a valuable resource to us as citizens. I didn't have time, I'm a financial advisor, I didn't have time to go through and make any income statements or anything like that, like I normally would have. But I noticed that there was this wonderful $300,000, we came in under budget in 2023. And then it looks like in 2024, we're gonna be over budget by about $300,000. I wanna know if that was planned, why the 2023 budget proposal for 2024 didn't include, why it was so far off, if there is any reason why we know specifically why there was that huge $300,000 difference in the proposed versus the actual.
Yeah, you should make that clear, yeah.
This is not a back and forth thing, can I not?
Yeah, it's,
Okay, yeah, so.
I'm sorry, in the beginning,
Yeah. This is
yeah,
my first
it's
time,
my bad.
doing one of these, but yeah, so my main concern is the lack of funding or the decrease in funding for the fire department, and then, such a dramatic shift in spending, or expenses, so, thank you.
Thank you. Guess I put the cart before the horse there, probably should get the instructions first, before embarrassing myself. Anyone else want to step up? Okay, with that, okay, I'll close the public hearing. Okay. Move on down to number 8. We got new business. 8.1 plow truck bids, so.
City of Pendani DPW plow fleet consists of 2 plows that are 5 years old and 5 plows that are 30+ years old. The older plows require significant maintenance and are beyond their useful life. The DPW attempted bids in March, April, and June. Each time it resulted in no bids. The DPW simplified the plow bids and finally received 2. Packer City International Truck Olson Plow Package, $213,500. Packer City International Truck Monroe Plow Package, $219,766. The DPW recommends the purchase of the international truck with the Olson Plow Package from Packer City International Trucks in the amount of $213,500. City staff recommends making the purchase with a $60,000 down payment and financing the remaining $153,500 with a 4-year lease option through Lease Servicing Center. For 2024, $60,000 was budgeted for the down payment, $5,000 from water, $5,000 from equipment, $5,000 from electric, $5,000 from sanitary sewer, $40,000 from major streets. $46,655.68 will have to be budgeted annually from 2025 to 2028. Alternative, adjust the lease terms to a different lease, 3, 5, or 7 years, or reject purchasing the equipment.
Council, get a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve.
And a second.
I'll second that.
Kevin? Any comment, Phil?
Obviously, we've got an aging fleet and we've got to start taking steps to replace some of these vehicles and equipment that are gonna start failing, so I think it's prudent to continue to make those moves.
Kevin?
No, I'm just glad to see that we're starting to, replace the older fleet. I understand that it'll probably be a multi-year process, but, that's one down for one to go.
John?
No, I mean, I concur with, the need for the new equipment. I assume we ran the numbers on some of these other leasing options, and 4 years something that we feel like we can budget for the coming years?
Mr. Mayor, yes. Yeah, only big concern is if we replace one of the 30+ year old plows now, and then we pay that out, and we wait another 5 years to buy a plow, and by the time that 5th plow is replaced, it will be 55 years old. So, still gonna have to work out, if that's the way that.
Stage purchasing,
I can answer that a little bit. So there's probably some memory loss, cause there's a lot of stuff that happens here, right, in the city. But we did purchase 2 brand new trucks, which just came off of the budget for lease this year.
So we have two that I believe they were purchased in 18, if I'm not mistaken, or 19, one of those 2 years. So this will be our third new plow, with the goal to obtain at least 3 more. Most likely, we'll only be able to obtain 1 more plow under the current equipment millage allocation as we have it. Maybe 2, we'll see how that goes. That's changing with the uncapping of the ad valorem with property taxes, so every time a house sells or a building sells, we get a little bit more money on that. So it'll help sell to get equipment a lot quicker, and as everyone knows, the city has not invested in itself for many years. The youngest plow, I guess you can say, was 1990 something when I got here. The oldest plow was 1976. So, but yeah, that plow is probably on its last legs, if not operational, and it's hard to find parts. So our goal is to try to replace the fleet as quick as possible.
I guess, you know, city manager mentions a plow in 1976. I rode in that plow. We plowed Miller Road and we're going up toward Buffalo Road and all that. It's, it'll shake the feelings loose in your teeth. But it's still an effective, workable piece of machinery. But its days are, pretty much it's time to put it out to pasture like Secretariat was, you know. Put it out to pasture. Maybe not a good analogy, but it just came to mind, so. I guess with that, roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Becker,
Yes.
Councilmember Ilmanin,
Yes.
Councilmember Flowey,
Yes.
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Mayor Kangas.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, like I said, we eliminated 8.2. We're going down to 8.3 now. Vista change order, Primo Construction. And please.
This change order is in regards to cleaning of environmental contamination identified in an attic space above the projection room of the Vista. This area will need to be thoroughly cleaned to ensure the structure has been completely cleaned and all environmental concerns have been alleviated. Approve the change order in the amount of $6,785 to Primo Construction paid from the Vista grant.
Get a motion?
Make a motion to approve the change order in the amount of $6,785 to Primo Construction from the Vista grant.
I'll second. Okay.
Mr. Mayor, if I could.
Antsy there.
We'll need a friendly amendment. This also does change the time frame to which Primo will have to conduct the work to get it completed. That was one of the concerns that the state wanted us to address in that contractual change and make sure the council approved that as well. The friendly amendment would be to allow for the change date.
I'll amend it,
For the new completion date.
Completion date.
the completion date.
Completion date.
Along with the
Completion date,
change order amount.
January 19th, 2024.
No, the new completion
No,
date is
November
November
15th.
15th.
November 15th, yeah. Sorry about that.
Yes.
You have to make any adjustments to that?
Someone will have the second, so you'll have to, are
Oh.
you okay with that? Yeah?
I'll go along with that.
Okay. Craig?
Nothing further?
Okay. So I guess with that, Toby, any comment?
Nothing specifically to this, but I guess I am curious, I see that there's a few windows that are still left open on the face of the building. And quite a few birds trying to push their way through the screens. Are we monitoring the screens to make sure that they're not getting in and messing up what we're ultimately approving to clean up here?
Mhm.
Okay. Just making sure.
John?
Nothing to add.
Myself, I guess I have nothing to add either. It's just good to see that it's going forward with it, and, well, it's, sometimes you gotta deal with a little bit of, displeasure to come with the final ending of the project, which is gonna be pretty awesome, so, yes, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. So with that, roll call please.
Councilmember Ilmenin,
Yes.
Councilmember Flowey,
Yes.
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Becker,
Yes.
Mayor Kangas.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, now we're down to 8.4, draw number 19 and change order, phase 1 water project and streetscape.
This is a final balancing change order which balances all the quantities on the project to equal what was installed on the project. In other words, it takes the items that are over or under the original contract amount and adjusts the contract to the actual number installed. This change order also includes some items that were needed along the way that were not in the original contract. Pay draw 18. This is a pay draw for all work installed to date on the USDA Phase 1 water project participating and the streetscape project non-participating. It includes the items in change order 8. This pay draw also includes engineering work to date. This takes the project to substantial completion on all aspects. There will be one more pay draw to finalize the project, mostly releasing paying retainage. Approved draw 18 in the amount of $153,295.71 RD draw request and $548,012.04 non-participating in change order number 8.
Can I get a motion?
Can I just get a point of clarification here, Mr. Mayor? The agenda says a draw on 19 and this,
It's draw 18.
it's 18.
That was
Okay.
a misprint.
Thank you, I'm just, make sure we're all on the same page.
Okay, thank you. It's noted. Okay, get a motion?
Sure, then I'll make that motion that we approve draw 18 and change order 8 in the amounts of $153,295.71 and $548,012.04 respectively.
Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, John and Cameron?
It's, it's just important to close this project out, it's nice to see it coming to a conclusion, and I think everybody really appreciates all the good work that went into it. It's nice to be enjoying it.
Greg?
Nothing further.
Kevin?
Nothing to add.
No, if I just second what Mr. Becker said, it's good to see this kind of coming to an end, and it's like, nothing. Fully appreciate what all's been done, and it's been a good thing, so. So yes, with that, I get a roll call vote in.
Councilmember Flowey,
Yes.
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Becker,
Yes.
Councilmember Ilmenin,
Yes.
Mayor Kangas.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, number 9, consent agenda, 9.1 minutes, September 12th, 2024. Regular minutes, October 3rd, 2024, special minutes, 9.2, claims and accounts, 9.3, revenue, expenditure, estimated trial balances. So, I get a motion on consent agenda,
Make a motion to approve it, the consent agenda as read.
I get a second? Okay, Kevin? Can you roll call vote on, please?
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Becker,
Yes.
Councilmember Ilmenin,
Yes.
Councilmember Flowey,
Yes.
Mayor Kangas.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, now we're down to number 10, the second public comment of the night. So again, 3 minutes, you wanna public comment, feel free to step up to the podium, state your name, and, you got 3 minutes.
Kristen Beaumont. I'd just like to comment on a couple of things that are kind of tied together. I feel like, when I counted it all, I think there's about 8 meetings this month that the city manager has put together. I know one is this, I mean, this isn't, you didn't put this one together, but this is one that naturally happens. And I understand the budget is important too. That, I know there's the one from last week and then the one at the end of the month. But I do feel like the one on Tuesday and then these upcoming trail meetings feel a little overwhelming for the community to get involved. Tuesday night, I showed up there and I know I was there with a few other people here, but really I only saw maybe a couple other people at that meeting. And what I was told from you, city manager, that we are going to take that information that was done that night and that committee is gonna come together and then present to the city council next month. And that feels like you're not getting a real temperature check from the community. And I feel like a real temperature check was this recent election that happened in August, where almost 75% of the people that came out to vote voted not to develop an area. And this whole Forge Your Adventure initiative feels like a lot more development. And I'm wondering what we're doing to get more of a temperature check from the whole community when a lot of people don't show up to these events. And there's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't mean it was a bad turnout or whatever it was. People are so busy. So is there a way to do more polling online or send out a survey? I'm just curious, like you said, Mayor, earlier, you were here to represent the people, but the people aren't showing up. So we need to figure out how to get the people's input in other ways if they're not gonna show up in the way that you traditionally want them to. So I'm just encouraging you all to think about all of that and to think about all of this development. I am so appreciative of the downtown. I've said this so many times. I'm a business owner here. I love it. It's beautiful. I think it's great what we've done. It's amazing. And I also am worried about how fast things are happening. Just wondering how we can just come together a little more on this and just see how we can really work together. And it just doesn't feel like that's happening. It doesn't feel like we're bringing the community together. It feels like there's an agenda that's getting pushed forward. So I just wanted to say that and just something to think about. So I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Hey, Wolf Moore again. Christina, right? Kristen, I just wanna say that I agree with everything that Kristen just said. And something I wanna iterate that I didn't, iterate that I didn't say before is that I really appreciate how much things have changed. Nate Heffron, especially, you guys have been doing, I mean, this whole council, you guys are doing a great job, especially the downtown. And, I wanna, mention that earlier when I was talking about the budget, and I noticed that discrepancy, it was referring to the general fund. I was only referring to the general fund, and maybe it's an accounting thing, I don't know, but, I look forward to seeing the development of the budget. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Hello, everybody. Stephanie Romar, Croy Street. I just wanted to speak briefly to what feels like a little bit of a line being drawn in the sand between community members. It hasn't been a positive feeling, just in regards to the upcoming city council election. I feel like the narrative has been behind the scenes to sway people in a certain direction, to feel that some candidates don't want Negaunee to move forward and some do, and that's just not the truth. So these sorts of sentiments and feelings are coming from leadership in front of me. I don't know what's being said behind the scenes, but it's definitely divisive, and it's not bringing us together. Like I see, I love Negaunee buttons and moving forward and things like that, but we have to remember like what our community is about, and it is about working together, right? But also recently there was a council member in an interview stated that people want to move to Negaunee, right? So we're looking for people to live here and whatever, they want to come and want to provide them places. we have community members who have been displaced by rental properties coming in and buying their rental buildings. They cannot find places to live with reasonable, affordable rent. Gentrification is happening in our community, and it's really sad because this is a middle-class, working, mining community, and the people who've been born and raised here can't afford to live here anymore, unless they own a home. That's it. So I guess I would just encourage you to remember, why do people want to move here? It's because of its small town charm. Do not do Traverse City, please. We do not need Traverse City. We don't need Marquette. We've got Marquette right up the road. What makes it special is that we have wide open spaces. Please don't infringe upon those. Thank you.
Thanks, Susie. Anyone else? Okay, with that, I'll close public comment. Thank you. Okay, now let's get down to council members. Start with you, Kevin.
Nothing's next.
Okay, Greg?
I don't really have anything to add either.
Okay, Toby?
Nothing to add, thank you.
Okay. John? Okay, well, the thing I say is that, well, election day is coming up, right? So let's all do our civic duty and let's get out and vote and, vote for, I guess, vote your heart, vote what your, like the way the city is going or not going, whatever, that's all an individual decision, right? That's not for me to decide, but I just wanna encourage everyone to get out and, make sure you vote, either vote early or vote on election day, so, thank you. Okay. Jeremy?
Just briefly on that note, Mayor, I attended along with, Ms. DePoli, and, Ms. Hawansky today, the election commission meeting for the city of Negaunee. And I couldn't be, more sure that the city of Negaunee's elections are gonna go great this year. I'd encourage everybody to vote. Go Tigers, it's a 1-1.
Come on, they got lucky against Houston, come on. It's a 3-game series, I miss 2 hot pitchers. Okay, with that, my babbling, can I get a motion for adjournment? Toby, a second? Kevin? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.